Welcome into Veterans Memorial Park here in Little Falls, New York. I'm Evan Simbita alongside Brady Foxwell here for the matchup between the Boonville Lumberjacks and the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. We're at the proverbial halfway point of the season, 21 games down and just around 20 to go. Not sure with reschedules off of rain delays how many exactly it will be, but looking at the Lumberjacks at around the halfway point, 8-13 right now, 1.5 games out of a playoff spot, still fighting. If they win today, they won't be able to get back in there. It'd have to be one today and then one tomorrow against Utica as well. Meanwhile, on the Mohawk Valley side, they're 12-13 in third place right now, currently on a 2-game losing streak. It was a 15-8 loss to Saugerties on July 2nd. That was their last game. Ultimately, they had 8 runs on 14 hits in their last one. Wasn't able to really capitalize on a lot of those hits, and Garrett Albright out on the mound today for the Lumberjacks. We've seen a lot of him so far this year, Brady, and hoping for a quality start.
Yeah, I know he's pumped to be out there for sure. Was supposed to go yesterday in the doubleheader against Oneonta, but of course Game 2 was rained out, so instead he's getting the bump day today. And well, I think the Lumberjacks kind of like their chances with Garrett Albright. His last 2 times out, he was facing Utica in Utica, and he shoved both times, had excellent performances, and earned the win in both of those games. I'm sure he's looking to replicate that same success tonight if he can. And 2-2 on the season so far, 16.2 innings pitched. The ERA is still above 10, but I wouldn't call that very accurate, as it's just one bad game where he was kind of shelled. And well, based off how he's pitched recently in his last 2 performances, if they can get a quality performance like that, 5 innings, 1 or 2 runs given up, maybe 3, it at least gives the Lumberjacks a competitive chance to stay in the game. But my issue with the Lumberjacks right now is that they've scored 1 run in each of their last 2 games.
Yeah, the offense not going as well as it should be right now, and you did mention that one blow-up start for Garrett Albright. That was against this team. That was all the way back on June 7th against Mohawk Valley. That was 3 1/3 innings pitched with 10 total runs, only 5 of them earned for him, but 8 hits and 6 walks. Certainly was not his best day out on the mound. And then on the other side, it's Peyton Borzodi, who the Lumberjacks have seen twice already this year.
Yeah, he pitched in the last game they played. That was last week ago, a doubleheader, but instead of being here at Veterans Memorial, rather, it was at Hanson Aggregates Field, the home of the Lumberjacks. A game that the Lumberjacks ultimately ended up winning. So if their bats can remember a familiar face and hopefully heat up as they haven't in the past couple of days, then, well, Lumberjacks really need to get back in the win column.
Well, 2 teams looking to get back in, hoping to extend their playoff chances here tonight. We'll step aside for the national anthem and the first pitch, but we'll be right back in just a couple minutes here on the Boonville Radio Network. Back here in Little Falls, almost ready for first pitch. We've got warm-ups ongoing right now. It's going to be Wyatt Lassiter, the first batter of the game, out there to face Borzodi. Hopefully Lassiter can get things going. He's been a high-average guy all year, batting over 300 at the moment, but has just had one hit in his last 3 games. Really looking to get things going back to how it was in the first half of the season here tonight.
Yeah, with all-star selections just around the corner, it'd be nice if he could get a nod. But, you know, I like him in the leadoff spot. He was leading off yesterday, and although it was an error, that was the reason he was able to get on first, he still did his job and got on to start the inning. So he's still rocking the pink accessories in the same way he was yesterday. Just however you got to get it done, find a way to get on first base.
He's been an on-base machine, 418 OBP so far this year, as well as leading the team in hits with 14. 6 of them have been for extra bases as well. He's really been a 5-tool player for this Lumberjack team so far this year, and that's why he's batting in the leadoff spot. Lassiter stands in on the right side. Borzodi getting ready for the first delivery. Here it comes. Swung on and chopped down the first base line. That one foul to the first base coach, Eric Shepard, who picks that one up and throws it back in. Borzodi so far this year, and 5 ERA and 18 innings pitched. He's given up 17 runs, only 10 of them earned. Here's the 0-1. That one in the dirt, off speed, misses, 1-1 the count. Borzodi, a sophomore, just graduated from the JUCO circuit. Now committed to go play baseball at Monmouth. As here's the 1-1. Swung on and hit down the left side, but that gets out of play and foul. 1-2 the count now. Lassiter staying alive in this one. He doesn't strike out too much. He's just got 2 Ks in his last 3 games. Down to his last strike right here. The pitch from Borzodi. Swung on and hit into left field. Going back on this one and making the catch is Coleman for out number 1. That brings up the second baseman, Devon Abaga.
I don't have any issue with that at bat. Took a few pitches, hunted the fastball, got the fastball, and was absolutely ready for it. Barreled it to left center field, but with Jake Dolan and Kyle Coleman crashing on that ball, there was no chance it would fall, but ultimately a competitive summer at bat.
Yeah, hard contact right there. You know this is a stadium where a lot of home runs can get out, as here's the first pitch. Fastball misses on Abaga. Diamond Dogs lead the league in homers this year. That's been the trend. It's very short out to center field, and it's a lot longer out to left and right at 378, as here's the 1-0. Swung on and hit on the ground to the left side. Venkat's got it and throws over to first in time. Henning squeezes it for out number 2, and Argenis Lopez, the next man up.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a barrel, but back-to-back hard hit balls. First one from Lassiter, second one from Abaga. It's a ground ball. Hirsch Venkat at third base, is a great fielder and gets to pretty much everything over there. So not the right guy you want to hit it to, but the Lumberjacks, who have the strikeout issue, I have no issue with them taking these early swings and just putting the ball in play.
So 2 up, 2 down. That brings up the first baseman, Lopez. Borzodi awaits the sign from his catcher.
Could see him putting one out to center.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit on the left side. That one gets down in shallow left field for a single. Getting it in quickly is Coleman, and Lopez stops at first. First hit of the game for the Lumberjacks belongs to Argenis Lopez.
They're swinging the bats, man, I'm telling you. Hit it hard enough, and eventually it'll find a hit right there. Lopez line drive into left field, well in front of the left fielder Coleman. And again, as long as you put the ball in play, good things happen.
So next hitter up is Michael Clarkson, who takes upstairs for strike 1. Clarkson, or Big Mike as they call him, had one of the 3 hits in the loss to Oneonta yesterday. Ended up being a double. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed. That off-speed got him right there, and he's quickly down 0-2.
Yeah, Lumberjacks did not hit very well yesterday. We're being no-hit for quite a while, but it was in the 4th inning that Michael Clarkson took a shot the opposite way for a double to break up that no-hitter.
Clarkson ready for the 0-2. Here it comes. Takes that one outside for ball 1. Clarkson has struggled with the strikeout so far this season. He's got 17 in 18 games played. 16 of those games as a hitter. Here's the 1-2. Takes upstairs yet again, and the count moves even. 2-2 now. Clarkson out on the mound does have 5 Ks in just 3 1/3 innings pitched. That's where he does specialize as the fireman out of this bullpen. Hasn't been called on in quite some time. It's been a couple weeks since he's had to come in and pitch. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. He got him right there, and that's strikeout number 18 on the season for Michael Clarkson. They leave Argenis Lopez stranded at first, and that will do it for the top of the first inning. We'll be right back for the bottom right after this. Back here for the bottom of the first, it's the right-hander Garrett Albright out there on the mound for this one. Was supposed to start game 2 of the Oneonta doubleheader yesterday that ultimately got rained out. So here he is to start this one. We know he's only got 1 or 2 starts left in him, including this one. So hopefully can get out there and do some good work out there. You mentioned earlier, Brady, that almost 11 ERA and 16 2/3 innings, and we know that's not representative of how he's been as a pitcher on the year as a whole. I mean, he came in against Amsterdam and didn't give up a run, but it's just been unfortunate for him. Last one was probably his best start with just 3 earned runs in 5 innings and a win. That was against Utica all the way back on June 27th. But hopefully he can get off to a strong start here. The first batter for the Diamond Dogs is the designated hitter, Eric Diaz. Diaz awaits the first pitch from Albright. He finally gets the sign, kicks and fires. Takes that one down low, fastball for strike 1, or ball 1, excuse me.
Yeah, Diaz, similar to Lassiter, batting over 300 and is a premier leadoff guy. Diaz, a bit more pop, 4 homers on the season. Albright has to make sure he doesn't leave one over the plate.
Here's the 1-0, swung on and hit high into center field. Ranging back on this one and making the leaping catch on the warning track is Wyatt Lassiter. He might have taken one back right there as he had to jump high up to get that one, and that had extra bases written all over it.
Yeah, I thought I put the broadcaster's curse on that one. Don't leave one over. It's a fastball. Albright, of course, has a plus fastball. Eric Diaz is premier hitter out of Dominican University and kind of jumped on it and hit it to the shallowest part of the yard, dead center, which, take that for what you will. Lassiter, way to get to that ball.
So that brings up the right fielder, Jake Hardy, with 1 out. Here's the pitch from Albright. Taken in there for strike 1.
They were joking yesterday that Lassiter might be taking Kanias' Davis spots in right.
Yeah, Davis injured, hasn't been in the lineup for quite some time now, as here's the 0-1. Taken in the dirt, 1-1 the count. Hopefully Davis can return soon, but in his place, Lassiter has been performing very well at the plate and in the field as this ball that was thrown back to the pitcher gets into center field. Baga picks it back up and gets it back in. Hardy out of Fairfield University just joined the Coastal Athletic Association as here's the 1-1. Off speed taken just inside for ball 2. Hardy played in the last game for Mohawk Valley. That was all the way back on July 2nd. That was against Saugerties. Had 2 hits and 1 RBI. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Fastball blown by him, and the count all even, 2-2 now. Hardy leads this team in batting average at .391. He's got 36 hits, towards the top of the PGCBL leaderboard as well. Here comes the 2-2. Taken down low, and the count runs full.
Oliver Lawrence, the catcher for the Lumberjacks today. It seems to be that's Garrett Albright's battery, the high schooler. Last time Oliver Lawrence played a game was the last time that Garrett Albright pitched back against Utica last week.
Here comes the payoff pitch from Albright. Hardy fouls that one back behind the plate and out of play. Count remains full. Hardy at Fairfield had 50 games played as a sophomore transfer. He's currently on the way to Penn State next year. Here comes the 3-2 again. Swung on and fouled into the dirt. Lawrence couldn't handle that one, and the count remains full yet again. Hardy leads this team in average and on-base percentage. He's got nearly 500 in the OBP category as Albright steps off. Leading the team with hits, of course, with 36, also 12 walks to add on to that, along with 20 RBIs. Here comes the delivery. Taken way up high. That curveball got away from Albright, and it's the first base runner of the game. It's a walk for Hardy that brings up the shortstop, Ryan Payne.
Yeah, it's his home debut. Ryan Payne, another guy from Fairfield. Seems like half of this Mohawk Valley Diamond Dog roster does come from Fairfield, but Lumberjacks' first time seeing him. He can play, allegedly. We'll see what he does in the PGCBL.
Yeah, first game so far this summer for Payne. Here's the pitch from Albright. Taken down low in the dirt. 1-0 the count. We do know that the Diamond Dogs like to recruit based on archetypes in schools. They have a lot of Fairfield guys, a lot of Ivy League guys, a couple Dominican University players as well. Payne just another Fairfield edition, as here's the 1-0. Taken in the dirt, same spot again. 2-0 the count.
Gotta assume that helps their team chemistry when they're playing. I wonder if they helps recruiting for their school as well.
Here comes the 2-1 from Albright. Taken in there for strike 1. 2-1 the count now. Payne, a freshman from Fairfield, at a 192 average in 22 games in his first year at the collegiate level. 15 hits, 1 homer. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed in the dirt. That off-speed got him, and the count moves to 2-2. 4 walks as well, but 36 strikeouts in 22 games. That was the alarming number for Payne at the collegiate level. It's down to his last strike right here. We'll see what Albright cooks up. Here's the 2-2. That one in there, taken for a ball. Runner goes as well, and Abaga couldn't handle that one, so the count runs full and a runner on second now. Just 1 out here in this bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, great jump from Hardy on first there. He was in. Good throw. Might have potentially had him, but would have taken a perfect one, really. And well, now with the runner on second, it's a good RBI opportunity, and you had him at 2 strikes. You really don't want to walk Payne here.
Yeah, they do have a
Albright goes back to the fastball.
Do have a place to put him as Lawrence goes back to the mound to talk things over with Albright. Obviously, no scouting report on Payne as it's his first game this summer with the Mohawks. Stands in there awaiting this full count pitch. Albright checks back on the runner before firing. That one in there for a call. 3rd strike. He set him down looking, and the first K of the day for Albright out of the way. That brings up the left fielder, Kyle Coleman.
Yeah, I'm glad I was right. I said I'll assume he goes back to the fastball. Albright's fastball is in the mid-90s, and it's hard to hit. And if you're dealing with a guy who strikes out a lot at Division I level, Well, it's not often that he probably even sees 95, and if he does it, you'd hope that he struggles with it. So go back to your bread and butter and hope to blow a fastball by him. That one dotted at the bottom of the zone, and he gets the backwards K.
So the next batter, Coleman, the left fielder. Here's the first pitch. Off speed taken just a little bit low on him. 1-0 the count.
Looked like the same spot as the fastball. I guess just a ball down.
Now Albright with that mid-90s fastball. Seems like a D1 arm, even though he's only played JUCO so far this year, or so far in his collegiate career. As here's the 1-0. Taken up high, 2 balls, no strikes. We know he's going to transfer somewhere good. Not sure what division, as he's still waiting and listening for those offers. But wherever he goes, confident that he will dominate. It's one thing he is a very confident pitcher. So here comes the 2-0. That one in there, fastball for a called strike. You know, he was pretty angry last night when that second game got rained out and he couldn't go out there and shove on the mound. Definitely looks to be enjoying things out there today with no rain in the forecast.
Seems like there's always rain in the forecast. I was actually shocked to hear there isn't tonight.
2-1 is taken up high. The fastball misses, and the count is 3-1 now. Coleman has played in 4 games against the Lumberjacks so far this season. He's got 2 hits and 2 RBIs, 2 strikeouts as well. Two outs here in this bottom of the first inning. Runner on second is Hardy. Here comes the 3-1 offering. Taken inside, curveball for strike 2, and the count runs full for the second straight at-bat.
You know, one thing that Coach Christian Griffin mentioned yesterday was that he thinks that a lot of baseball is mental, and that if you think you are better than someone, you will often outperform that guy. The last time Albright pitched against the Diamond Dogs, he had a pretty bad performance, so I'm wondering if these Diamond Dog hitters take that into effect, that they think they can get to him, and if Albright can delay that.
Full count pitch is in the dirt, so that's a walk right there to Kyle Coleman. Runners on first and second now for the center fielder, Jake Dolan. So it's Dolan, the Seton Hall commit, just graduated high school. Hasn't touched down at the collegiate level yet, but is batting .426 in 6 games played with the Diamond Dogs in the PGCBL. Here's the first pitch. Takes that off speed up high for ball 1. Dolan with 10 hits so far. One of them a double, another a triple. He's got 3 total RBIs on the season as well. Here comes the 1-0. That one taken down low in the dirt, and 2 balls, no strikes, the count now. It's Bronx Lewis, Masai Marshall, and Noah Reed, the center fielder, designated hitter, and left fielder out on the other side of the inning for the Lumberjacks. Albright still not out of trouble yet, though, with a runner on first and second. 2 outs here for Dolan.
Yeah, .526. That's an incredible batting average. It's not even a small sample size either.
2-0 is swung on and fouled back behind the plate. That gets out of play for strike 1.
This is 20th at-bat here, and sure, most of them are singles, but you can find a way to get on however. You know, that's what matters, really, but, you know, for a guy that's only walked once, I think Albright should try and attack the strike zone. Even if he proves he can hit it, you have a solid defense behind you.
2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed in the dirt. Got him to miss that one right there, and the count even yet again. We have seen a lot of high counts in this first inning. Albright has been running up the mileage on his arm. Certainly, head coach Christian Griffin would like to see him get far into this game. So here's the 2-2. Swung on and just fouled back behind the plate. Sounds like he got a fraction of an inch of contact on that ball. Dolan's got multiple hits in 4 of his last 5 games, just 2 strikeouts across the span, including 3 hits against Utica. That's been his best day so far this year. Counts all even, it's 2-2. Albright stares him down. Here comes the pitch. Taken down low in the dirt. Another off-speed misses for Albright, and the full count for the 3rd straight at-bat on the way.
Yeah, again, another guy you really don't want to lose. You'd be walking the bases loaded at that point in your job. Doesn't get much easier. Hirsch Venkot is on deck, someone who's had success against the Lumberjacks, multiple extra bases to his name.
Albright's got to be careful. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and hit to the left side. Picked up by Negron. Thrower to first is off the line. Lopez couldn't pick it up, and Hardy guns for home. He's going to be in there safely as Coleman goes to third. I think they're going to call that one an error right there. Not sure if it'll be on the shortstop or the first baseman. Yep, they indeed call that one an error, so an unearned run right there for Albright. It's 1-0 Diamond Dogs here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, E6 on Eli Negron right there. It was kind of a tough play, but, I mean, with the runners going, the better, in a perfect situation, the best situation would have been to throw it to second base and try and get the runner on first, Coleman, but he had to make the long throw to first because the runners were going in the 3-2 situation and just bounced it. And RJ Lopez, a great first baseman, but that's an impossible play to make.
So Hirsch Remain on Venkot, the batter. Here's the first pitch, taken up high for strike one. Venkot has pitched and hit so far this summer. He's got a .319 average as a hitter with 15 hits on the bump. He's got a 9.35 ERA and 9 appearances. Albright stares down the runner at third. Here comes the 0-1 as the runner goes from first. Throw is not going to happen. Lawrence just pulls that one back to make sure the runner Coleman doesn't advance from third, and now 2 runners in scoring position for Venkot.
Yeah, 2 outs here. Albright just has to focus on Venkot. Can't worry too much about the other guys on the base path. But you're already given up 1 run. You really want to limit that to just that 1 run.
Here comes the 1-1 on Venkot. Swings and hits this one shallow into center field. Coming in is Bronx Lewis, who dives and makes the catch. What an incredible play from Bronx Lewis, who slides on all fours to grab that one and saves 2 runs with that catch. It's 1-0 Diamond Dogs. They limit the damage, and we will be right back on the other side of the break for the top of the second inning. It's 5, 6, 7 here. Heart of the Lumberjacks order up to bat here in this top of the second inning. It's 1-0 Diamond Dogs off of an Elijah Negron error in that last inning. Lumberjacks hoping to fight back here with the lefty Bronx Lewis, the first batter in this inning. Takes the first one in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 now.
Yeah, and given the spectacular catches from the outfielders today, Wyatt Lassiter and Bronx Lewis in center and right field, they've saved quite a few runs from the Diamond Dogs.
Next pitch was down low in the dirt, 1-1 the count. Lewis out of Concordia University, just graduated from there, looking to get some tape and hopefully move on to pro ball. As here's the next pitch, taken up high for ball 2. It's 2-1 now. Lewis played in the first game of the Oneonta doubleheader yesterday, had 2 flyouts in 2 at-bats. Here comes the 2-1. Takes that one right along the letters for strike 2. 2-2 the count now. Lewis has played in 2 games against the Diamond Dogs so far this year. No hits. As here's the next pitch. Swung on and missed way out in front of that off speed, and that is the second strikeout of the day for the Lumberjacks. That brings up Masai Marshall, the DH.
Yeah, Marshall with the day off yesterday was supposed to play in Game 2 of the Oneonta doubleheader, but hasn't. It's been quite a few days without him even getting an at-bat, so possibly a little rusty, but good hitter nonetheless.
Here comes the first pitch on him. That one taken down low for a strike. Off speed just clips the bottom of the zone on Marshall out of Northwestern University. In the transfer portal right now, looking for that next home, as here's the 0-1. That one taken down low for a ball this time, 1-1 the count. Borzotti's been pitching very quickly. He only takes just about 10 seconds in between each delivery. He's already in the windup again. That one taken up high, 2-1 the count. He's been trying to quick pitch these hitters. It's worked for him on certain days against Boonville, but not on others. Was able to keep some runs off the board in the first inning, as here's the 2-1. Checks on that one. It's in there for a strike regardless, 2-2 the count. Marshall has struggled with the strikeout. He's struck out in nearly half of his at-bats this year. So here's the 2-2. Swung on and hit into center field. Coming over is the right fielder Hardy, who makes the catch, and that is out number 2 in the inning. That brings up the left fielder Noah Reed.
More loud outs coming from the bats of the Lumberjacks. Marshall hit that one hard, just right out of glove, and despite strikeouts from Michael Clarkson and Bronx Lewis, at least they're going up there swinging.
And just 2 strikeouts on the day. That was Clarkson to end the first and Lewis to start the second. Standing in now is the left fielder Noah Reed. Here comes the first pitch. Takes that one down the middle for a called strike. Reed was another one of the players that was supposed to play in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday and didn't, like Marshall and like the catcher Oliver Lawrence, as here's the next pitch. Takes that one, has to move out of the way, and the count moves to 1-1.
And even if the Lumberjacks don't put up a run this inning, they can't go 1-2-3. If they get complacent at the plate and just go down quietly, that's the worst that can happen to them.
1-1 is swung on and fouled back behind the plate. Count moves to 1-2 now. Reed has been on base in both of his last 2 games played. He's got a .286 average on the year with 2 walks. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and hit to the right side off the glove of Borzotti. Coming in is the second baseman Valdez, who makes the throw, but it's not in time. We'll see what they score that one, but that's going to be a hit right there for Noah Reed. So the second hit of the day for the Lumberjacks and the first runner on in this inning.
Yeah, that one hit pretty hard, was probably going up the middle no matter what, but because Borzotti got a hand on it, the second baseman Valdez had no chance of getting over to that ball. So nice piece of hitting for Noah Reed, gives Zeb Swangam a chance. He's homered here before. He's had success at Veterans Memorial Park. Now would be the time to do it with a runner on.
And Swangam, the third baseman. Here's the first pitch. Takes that one up high for a ball. And that one looked quite similar to the spot that Bronx Lewis took that strike at. A little bit of an inconsistent zone to start the day here. It's 1-0 on Swangam. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit high on the right side. This one curving out of play. Count moves to 1-1. Swangam has played in all 4 games against the Diamond Dogs this season. He's got 4 hits, including a double and a homer to show for it. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and hit foul and to the fence down that third base line. That one going to just be a long strike, and 1-2 the count.
Yeah, jumping on the off speed. He's got to slow that down a little bit and control his path a little bit more if he wants to put that in fair play.
Here's the 1-2. Takes that one up high, and that is a called third strike to end the inning. Third strikeout of the day for the Lumberjacks. First one looking, and they leave a man stranded on first. It's still 1-0 Diamond Dogs heading to the bottom of the second inning. We'll be right back on the Lumberjacks Radio Network after this. Back here for bottom of the second inning here at Veterans Memorial Park. It's Garrett Albright still out there after making the Diamond Dogs leave 2 in scoring position at the end of last inning. Did surrender 1 run, however. It's 1-0 Diamond Dogs, and the leadoff man for them is going to be Roberto Valdez, the second baseman.
Yeah, and that first, even though he gave up a run, he didn't give up a hit, but he did walk quite a few people, 2 to be exact. He can't let that happen again. He's got to get first pitch strikes.
Stands in from the right side. Here comes the first pitch from Albright. Swings and fouls this one to the backstop. Just got a piece of that one, and 0-1 the count. Valdez, nicknamed Pop, but doesn't have any homers yet this season. He's got just a .250 slugging percentage with 1 double. As Albright steps off, he's got just 4 hits in 20 at-bats, 3 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Slightly above average this summer, as here's the 0-1. Swung on and hit high, but back behind the plate yet again, and 0-2 the count. Here comes the next pitch from Albright. That one taken right down the middle, and that is a called third strike. That's the first out of the inning for Albright. Second strikeout of the day. That brings up the first baseman, Jack Henning.
Yeah, 3-pitch strikeout is a great way to start the inning. You know, I said get first pitch strikes. He got every pitch for a strike right there. It's a quick out. It saves your pitch count. It sets the tone for the inning as well. And, well, now he only has 2 more to get down before the Lumberjacks can help him get back.
So that brings up Henning. It's first pitch from Albright. Taken down low, off-speed misses. 1-0 the count. It's 1 strikeout swinging, 1 strikeout looking here today for Albright. Here comes the next delivery. Swung on and hit in the dirt. That one escapes behind the catcher, Lawrence, and 1-1 the count.
You know, it was cool seeing everyone who's new to the ballpark, seeing their reactions, because they hadn't played here before. Masai Marshall and Oliver Lawrence both thought it was kind of interesting that the center was the shortest part of the yard.
1-1 is hit on that left side. Negron jumps, but can't find that one, and it gets his way into left field. It's a single right there for Jack Henning, and that brings up the 9-hole hitter, Jaden Santiago.
Yeah, Jaden Santiago is the catcher today, not Joe Crenshaw, who's the second best hitter on the team behind Jake Hardy. You know, the last time the Lumberjacks played the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, Crenshaw swung 3-0 with the bases loaded, grounded out, and was then pulled from the game. He ultimately played game 2 of that doubleheader, but doesn't have a lot of success against Boonville.
First pitch is swung on and missed from Santiago. Heater was blown by him right there. We have seen Santiago and Crenshaw in the lineup in the same day in 2 of the 4 games that these teams have played this year. Here comes the 0-1. Takes that off speed down low. 1-1 the count now on Santiago, the catcher out of Columbia University. Just finished his freshman year over there, only had 6 appearances, most of them defensive. That's where he excels, is behind the dish. Check back on the runner is not in time by Albright. Sliding head first is Henning, and he's in there safely.
Yeah, Henning had a pitching outing against the Lumberjacks the last time these 2 teams played. He did okay, but he was kind of more of a mop-up guy in that game, too.
Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and hit high into center field. That gets down for a hit. Lewis picks it up, but it hits off the glove. He can't find it, and Henning is going to advance to third there. He slides in there head first and safe. And runners on the corners here, just 1 out. Unfortunate right there as that one skipped off the glove of Lewis out in center. He's been stellar in the field all season long, but just a small miscue right there allows the runner to move over to third.
Yeah, I think it hit like a weird patch of grass or something out there in center field because he was coming in on it on a tail, but he stopped for a second as it moved to his left, and he had to do the same, but the glove moved last, which allowed Henning to add another 90 feet.
So first and third, 1 out here for the leadoff man, Diaz. First pitch is taken in there for a called strike. Diaz flew out to the deepest part of right center in his first at-bat. A jumping catch out there by Wyatt Lassiter to sit him down.
If he did the same now, it would add another run. Got to get a ground ball.
0-1 is in there for a called strike. It's 0-2 now. Diaz has hit well against the Lumberjacks so far this season. He's got 7 hits, 4 of them for extra bases against the Lumberjacks, and just 12 at-bats. Just 3 strikeouts as well.
Noteworthy is Upswingham not playing on the grass. They're willing to concede the run for the chance at a double play.
Here comes the 0-2. Taken up high, fastball misses. 1-2 the count. Diaz, who has a nearly 2 OPS against the Lumberjacks so far this season. He's been absolutely killing them. Has an opportunity to add to his 3 RBI total against Boonville this season. Here comes the 1-2. Taken in the dirt yet again, 2-2 the count.
You know, Santiago, a catcher, I wonder if he'll consider trying to take second off Oliver Lawrence. We'll put 2 runners in scoring position and only 1 out with the top of the lineup.
Saw it in that first inning where Lawrence ultimately did not make the throw. Was willing to concede that stolen base. Moderate lead for Santiago out there on first base. Here's the pitch from Albright. That one down low in the dirt, skips off the mask of Lawrence. Pick back to first is not in time as Santiago faked going to second. I think he thought that one got further away from Lawrence than it actually did, and he dives back in there head first and safe.
Despite having Diaz 0-2, counts now full at 3-2. I do expect Santiago to take off now, even though there's only 1 out. Gotta get a strike here. I imagine Diaz sits fastball. I imagine that's what Albright has to give him.
3-2 the count, runners on the corners. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him right there. Blew the fastball by him. That was right what you said, Brady, and gets him swinging right there for out number 2. A big one right there, and it brings up the right fielder, Jake Hardy.
Yeah, that's an interesting sequence of pitches to Diaz. He got him with 2 fastballs to have him 0-2, and then 3 straight off speeds, 2 of them in the dirt, 1 of them misses low. And, well, he goes back to what works for him. It's the fastball. It's a high fastball, changes the elevation. And that's what gets him right there. Sometimes you don't got to get too overcomplicated with it and just use the fastball.
First pitch is swung on and hit to the left side by Hardy. That one's going to be a fair ball. 1 run scores as Santiago rounds second. Just getting it in is the left fielder Reed as Santiago pulls up on third base. Hardy in there with a stand-up double over there and 1 RBI as well. It's 2-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Diamond Dogs on top.
Yeah, well, Jake Hardy's the best hitter on the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, hitting over 400 now. And, I mean, he hit that one so hard. He clearly was looking for the fastball first pitch. He got it. It was kind of elevated and boom, barrels it down the line. And, you know, I wonder if Santiago had a chance to score there. Would have been a very close play, but I think they give the opportunity to Ryan Payne to try and drive in a run.
Here comes the first pitch on the freshman. Swings and fouls that one off of the catcher, Lawrence, right there. 0-1 the count.
And with runners on third and second, Santiago on third, got to make sure no pass balls. Haven't seen one yet, or wild pitches for that matter. Just got to make sure every pitch finds a glove or a bat.
Payne struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. Albright wouldn't mind another one of those as he talks things over with a mound visit right here with his catcher Lawrence. Payne, that strikeout is only at bat so far this summer in the PGCBL. Middle infield reinforcements for this team as here's the 0-1. Takes that fastball up high for ball 1. Payne did struggle with the strikeout, as I mentioned, 36 in 22 games played at the Division I level last year. Albright gets the sign finally. Here comes the 1-1. Checks his swing on that one. Appeal over to second. He went. And the count moves to 1-2 now. Albright 1 pitch away from his second strikeout against Payne on the day.
Wonder if the Lumberjacks cheering yes he did influence the umpire's decision on second base. got a loud reaction once they got that strike call. Now Albright's 1 pitch away.
Here's the 1-2. Takes that one down the middle, but just on the outside. They call that one a ball, and the count moves even. It's 2-2.
Yeah, it would be great to strand 2 more runners here. Albright working himself through traffic, has only allowed 2 so far. If he could keep it at that, he'd be shouted with cheers when he gets back to the dugout.
Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him right there. Sets him down. Second strikeout in the last 3 batters. That was his 3rd of the inning and 4th of the day. Albright sitting him down, but not happy with that one as he yells on the way back to the dugout. It's just 2-0. Diamond Dogs still on top as we head to the top of the 3rd here on the Boonville Radio Network. Top of the 3rd here. It's Elijah Negron, the first batter for the Lumberjacks in this inning. Here comes the first pitch. That one runs inside on Negron. 1-0 the count. First at-bat of the day for Negron here in the 3rd inning, as the Diamond Dogs already on their 2nd time around. Here's the 1-0. Moves out of the way of that one yet again, and the count moves to 2-0. Negron played in 3 games against Mohawk Valley coming into this one. He's got 3 hits, including a double. Here comes the 2-0. Checks on that one. It's in there for a called strike. The off-speed hits the bottom part of the zone. Negron played in that game yesterday, and Oneonta had 1 strikeout and 1 ground out as that next pitch down low. 3-1 the count. Borzotti seemed to have slowed down his tempo in the first couple pitches of this sequence, but has sped it back up. Here's the 3-1. That one taken inside for ball 4, a 5-pitch walk for Negron to start off the inning, and that brings up the last hitter in this order, Oliver Lawrence.
Yeah, as a pitcher, you want to make sure you don't get caught in the same rhythm. You want to mix it up a little bit. If you're going from the windup, you have more freedom, but if you have a runner on and they catch you going at the same cadence and deliver each time, they can pick up and get a great jump if they try and steal second, even though Bordozzi is a lefty.
First pitch on Lawrence is just outside for ball 1. That was the first walk of the day allowed by Borzotti. He's kept it clean so far in that regard. 2 hits allowed, but no runs, the important part. Here comes the 1-0. Swings and hits this one into left field. If it's fair, it's going to be extra bases, and it is foul. They're calling the runners around, even though they signal that a foul ball. Looks like they're going to overturn it. I'm not really sure what happened right there.
We don't have the best view of it.
The second base umpire signaled foul. Home plate umpire didn't signal anything.
Home plate umpire probably had the better view. But, hey, it's 2 runners both in scoring position for the Lumberjacks, so I don't see anybody complaining on that side. And I don't see the Mohawk Valley side complaining either, so it just seems to me that the second base umpire might have had it wrong, and I guess, it's a difficult job. It's a thankless job, too.
First pitch on the leadoff hitter Wyatt Lassiter is up high for ball one. So first extra base hit of the day goes to the rookie Oliver Lawrence.
Yeah, and with Jacob Young, finding out his college decision and done for the season here in Boonville, Lawrence is campaigning for that catching slot.
Yeah, Lawrence and Seth Bischoff, the only two catchers left on this Boonville roster. Lawrence was supposed to play in the second game yesterday, but ultimately had to settle for one today, and he's got a double in his first at-bat. Here's the 1-1. Lassiter takes that off speed down low. 2-1 the count now. Good opportunity for the right fielder. Doesn't have a ton of RBIs on the season, just 5 of them, mainly because he's been batting out of the leadoff spot. Here's the 2-1. Takes that one inside, and the count 3-1 now. Borzotti seems to have lost a little bit of that command here, as he's allowed 2 base runners and 2 at-bats. Lassiter knocking on number 3 right here.
Yeah, the opportunity. They got to plate one, but with 2 runners on and no outs, you want to get both ideally.
3-1 is in the dirt, and he walks them loaded right there. 2 walks and a double from Oliver Lawrence, and the bases are loaded. No outs here for the heart of this Boonville order. It's the second baseman, Devon Abaga, at the plate now.
Yeah, Abaga has, I don't want to say struggled at the plate, but he's hitting 200 on the season. And it's a pretty good sample size. He's gotten 30 at-bats in that time. He has a few extra base hits. 2 of them have come here at Mohawk Valley. For whatever reason, he does hit here. And now with the bases loaded, he's always up there swinging at least. So a fly ball would help. Ground ball, if it's well placed, gets a run home. Just no matter what. Too many times, Evan, have the Lumberjacks not scored in bases loaded, no out situation. And I can only imagine that Coach Christian would be livid if they don't happen to score here.
And it's Joshua Ibarra, the pitching coach, out there for a meeting with Borzotti on the mound. Got to make sure that his guy just can calm this one down and keep pushing through the order. It's a good hitter to have up right now if you're the Lumberjacks. Devon Abaga, he's got only 6 hits on the year, but 4 of them doubles. He's been an extra base machine, as here's the first pitch. Takes that off speed down low, 1-0 the count.
Yeah, it's funny. He pretty much only hits on the road here at Mohawk Valley and against Utica. Of course, we're playing Utica tomorrow, so if he's in the lineup tomorrow, should have some success at the plate.
1-0 is taken up high for ball 2, and Borzotti frustrating out there on the mound. He adjusts his cap and tries to get ready for the next offering. Yeah,
Baga, dead red hitter, has to be looking for the fastball in a 2-0 count right here. I mean, Borzotti, he's been dealing so far, hasn't given up a run yet, but I mean, his fastball seems to be mid-80s, as are most fastballs in the PGCBL. And if Baga sits back and does his job here, I assume that's what he's getting. Now's the opportunity to drive in a run.
Yeah, Baga does like to hunt the fastball. That's his premier pitch that he likes to hit. As here comes the 2-0. Heater is swung on and hit down the right side, going in. That one is going to be fair. 1 run scores. Oliver Lawrence comes around as Lassiter hustles around third. The right fielder Hardy still doesn't have it as Abaga pulls up on third. Ball is still in the outfielder, and it's a 3 RBI triple right there for Devon Abaga.
Yeah, well, that's what we were saying. He hits well at this ballpark. He gets extra base hits. He hits fastballs. 2-0 count with the bases loaded is 10 times out of 10 a fastball count right there. And that's what he does. Takes that one in the opposite way. He oftentimes a pull hitter, but he can get it to all fields, and I think that was kind of the scouting report that the Diamond Dogs had, is that he'll hit it to the pull side, so everyone's shifted to the left. Hardy in right is a great fielder. We've seen him make some great plays, but unable to get to that ball.
This one hit down the left side, picked up by the third baseman Venkat, and they've got Abaga in a pickle. He runs back and out at home. Toss to the catcher, Santiago got him, but Argenis Lopez over there on a fielder's choice. He reaches over at first, and that is the first out of the inning. That brings up the next hitter, Michael Clarkson.
Abaga greeted with high fives as he gets back to the dugout. He did his job, and well, right there, he's just kind of stuck in an unfortunate situation. He can't go back to third because it was hit right at Venkat, and well, if he goes home immediately, he's dead to rights. So got to find the median there, and well, at least R.J. Lopez reaches first.
Yeah, that one hit hard and on a line. Here's the first pitch on Clarkson. Swings and hits this one foul down the left side. That one going to be strike number 1. Ultimately, Lopez not going to get a hit off of that one as it's a fielder's choice. That one hit so hard at Vencott that he had the opportunity to go home. Here comes the 0-1 on Clarkson. Swing and a miss on that one in the dirt, and the count moves to 0-2. Clarkson down to his last strike. He was a strikeout victim in his first at-bat here today. Went down swinging to end the top of the first inning. Lumberjacks now lead it 3-2 here with the runner on first. Argenis Lopez goes. Is that one taken down low for a ball? He's in there safely as the ball goes into center field, hustling towards third, and in there standing with a stolen base plus an error. Lopez completely replaces the runner Abaga, who was at third, and now there's a runner on third with just one out in the inning. Clarkson, a good man to have up in this situation, a big fly ball hitter. That's where he usually hits the ball. Down 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him right there. Fastball blown by him. And that is the second strikeout of the day for Clarkson. 2-2 at bats, and that brings up the center fielder Bronx Lewis, also a strikeout victim in his first plate appearance today. Batting from the left side with a runner on third. It's 3-2 Boonville here in the top of the third inning. 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. Taken down low for ball 1. Lewis has reached base safely in 3 of the 8 games he's played, including 2 of the last 4 games. Here's the next pitch. Checks on that one, but it's down low in the dirt. He did not go, and the count moves to 2-0. Lumberjacks looking for their first away win on the season, not in Utica. They've played 3 times so far this season in this ballpark, 0-3. So here's the 2-0. That one taken down low yet again. 3-0 the count here as Borzotti just walks around on the mound trying to get back into the flow of things. He's 1 pitch away from losing Lewis right here. The next offering is taken down low in the dirt. The off-speed completely missed, and that's a 4-pitch walk right there to Lewis. Runners on the corners with 2 outs right here. That brings up the designated hitter, Masai Marshall. Marshall flew out to right field in his first plate appearance so far today. Here's the first offering, swung on and hit high on a line, and that one gets down in left field. Argenis Lopez scores as Bronx Lewis runs over to third. An RBI single right there from Masai Marshall. It's 4-2 Boonville here as they pile on Borzotti. This top of the third inning has brought all 4 runs for the Lumberjacks. A nice jam shot single right there by Marshall. And runners still on the corners with just 2 outs. That brings up the left fielder Noah Reed. Stands in from the right side. Here comes the first pitch. Takes that one way up high. Santiago has to spin around and stand up to grab that one as count moves to 1-0. Reed in his first plate appearance today had a single. Would love another one right here. That would probably at least score 1. Masai Marshall with plus speed as well over at first. Here comes the 1-0 from Borzotti. Swing and a miss, that one in the dirt. Got him fooled, and the count moves to 1-1.
I wonder if Masai Marshall will test Santiago's arm here and try and take second. It's a lefty Borzotti, so it's obviously hard to take second, but having 2 on would be clutch for the Lumberjacks.
1-1 is in there for a called strike. The 1-2 is the count now. Noah Reed, a redshirt sophomore out of North Central Texas College, the Division I JUCO school. Borzotti stares down Marshall. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and hit high into left field. coming in, and under it is Coleman, who makes the catch, and that will end the top of the third inning. Not before Boonville can plate 4, however. They take a 2-run advantage over the Diamond Dogs. It's 4-2 heading into the bottom of the third. We'll be right back on the Boonville Radio Network after this. Kyle Coleman, Jake Dolan, and Harsh Ramainam Venkat, the 3 batters set to face Garrett Albright here in his 3rd inning of work here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lumberjacks on top. It's 4-2. Here comes the first offering from Albright. That one taken fastball down low for ball 1. In his first plate appearance today, Coleman walked and would end up scoring. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and hit to the left side. This one picked up by the third baseman Swingham. Throw over to first is in time, and a smooth ground ball right there. They get it around the infield, and that's out number 1.
That's a tough play from Swingham, and had to throw on the run there, but he's a good fielder at third base, so able to swallow that one up. I'm sure Albright's appreciative of that.
Albright continues to produce the weak contact. That's what he's been aiming for out there on the mound. As here's the first pitch taken down low on Dolan. Dolan reached on an error by the shortstop Negron in his first plate appearance. He would also come around and score. Here's the 1-0. Taken up high for a ball, 2-0 the count. Dolan's only played in 6 games so far this summer, batting .526 in those games. Here's the 2-0. That one taken for a strike. The off-speed finally in there, and the count moves to 2-1. Dolan's only played 1 game against Boonville so far this summer. 2-1 pitch is swung on and hit into center field. Ranging back on it is Lewis, who makes the catch. Took a bit of an unorthodox route on that one. Had to range in back and to his left to grab that one, but it's out number 2 regardless, and that brings up Harsh Ramainam Venkat.
Yeah, despite that ball being hit really hard, it was kind of hit like a knuckleball and kind of came down on Bronx Lewis. I thought he might not even get to that ball with the way it was spinning away from him. Ultimately, he's a great fielder and able to get to that ball.
So it's Venkat who flew out to center in his first at-bat. Here's the pitch. Takes that one down low for ball 1. Venkat, a .319 hitter at the plate. Has over a 9 ERA on the bump as well. Here comes the 1-0. Taken up high. Fastball got away from Albright right there, and the count moves to 2 balls, no strikes. Venkat has 4 hits in 2 games played against the Lumberjacks. Just 2 RBIs to show for him, though. 2-0 pitch. Hits him in the back. That fastball ran in on him, and third straight fastball from Albright ultimately loses control of that one, and it's the first time on today for Venkat. That brings up Roberto Valdez.
Yeah, that one lost a little bit of feel on the on the fastball there. Hits him. I thought it was kind of funny the dugout reaction to that. They were all screaming, as in like a "we got ice" type of way. But right now, Albright 2 outs here. So what? Next batter mentality. Just make sure you get Valdez here. Got him looking the last time on 3 pitches. Try and see if he can do the same thing.
First pitch is down low on Valdez. Strikeout victim looking in his first plate appearance. That's been an issue for him all year long. He's got 6 total strikeouts in 8 games played. 2 walks as well. He's ahead 1-0 here. The pitch from Albright. Taken down low. Lawrence, the catcher, tries to fake a pick back at first, but ultimately Venkot not going anywhere. 2-0 the count. If Valdez can get on, it'll be the 8 and 9 hitters, Jack Henning and Jaden Santiago, but 2 outs. Albright trying to set him down here. Here's the 2-0. Taken up high, and the count moves 3 balls, no strikes. Valdez out of St. John's University. Just finished up his freshman year down there. Didn't get any ABs ultimately in his first year of college ball. Pick back by Albright is not in time. Venkot dives back in there head first. Count remains 3-0. Valdez was one of the hitters on this team that reported late. Ultimately didn't get a game on this Diamond Dogs team until June 16th, as here's the 3-0. That one taken right down the middle for strike 1.
I'm actually a little surprised he doesn't have No, never mind, I'm not. I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if he did have the 3-0 green light, but now that I think about it, no, the Diamond Dogs, Steve Louis will pull you if you swing 3-0.
Here's the 3-1. Checks on that one, but it's up high regardless and walks him right there. So 2 straight free passes handed out right there by the right-hander Albright, and Oliver Lawrence out to talk with him about this one. Next man up is Jack Henning, who singled and came around to score in his first plate appearance today. Henning, one of the Trinity University players on this team, ultimately has acted as a two-way with this team as well. He's pitched not very well, but has been able to eat innings effectively for this Diamond Dogs team, and in their playoff race, this has been exactly what they've needed from him. Batting just 100 at the plate, though. Here comes the first pitch. Takes that one down the middle. Fastball for a called strike. Henning, a sophomore from Houston, Texas. A long way from home, just like Will Hill, the outfielder for the Lumberjacks. Hill not in the lineup today, however. Here comes the 0-1. That one taken down low in the dirt. 1-1 the count.
It was supposed to be a quick inning of work for Albright at 1-2, and struggling to get 3 right here. So you got Henning and Santiago, that 8 and 9 hole hitters respectively. Needs to get a buckle down and get it out here.
This one chopped to the left side, picked up by Swangham, and the throw over to first is in time as Lopez picks that one up over at first, and that will end the inning. They leave 2 stranded, 1 at first and 1 at second, and that will do it for the 3rd inning. Third of the way through this one, it's 4-2 Lumberjacks. We head to the 4th inning on the Lumberjacks Radio Network after this. Another debut here at Veterans Memorial Park, this time by a pitcher. It's the lefty Jacob Diaz, who just finished up his high school career, currently committed to play baseball at Division I Monmouth. According to Prep Baseball Report, he's got a 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Likes to put spin on that one. It's supposed to move quite a lot. Diaz turns 18 in just under a month. One of the youngest players on this Diamond Dawgs team, and out here to face a interesting part of the order here. It's Swingham, Negron, and Oliver Lawrence out there for the Lumberjacks. First pitch on Swingham is down low in the dirt as the 8-hole hitter stands in there and awaits. Here comes the next pitch from the lefty. Takes that one in there for a called strike. Diaz hasn't played any games in the PGCBL so far this summer. This is first appearance of any collegiate sort. 5'11", 155, the measurements for the lefty. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and hit high and into center field. That one's going to get down for a hit. Picking it up is Dolan and getting it in quickly as it's just a single there for Swingham. Leadoff man is on for the Lumberjacks. That brings up the next hitter, Elijah Negron. That's already the 6th hit of the day for the Lumberjacks. It was 5 of them on Peyton Borzotti. His final line today, 3 innings pitched with 5 hits allowed, 3 walks, 5 Ks for 4 total earned runs. First pitch on Negron is up high, a fastball misses. Borzotti kind of hit and miss. He had a strong first appearance against the Lumberjacks this season, but didn't do too well in his last one. Not too good in this one either. 1-0 is down low in the dirt, pops off the glove of the catcher Santiago. 1-1 the count. Negron out of University of Maryland East Shore. In the transfer portal right now, looking for his next home. Here's the 1-1. Check swing on that one. He did not go. Pitch outside as well, so 2-1 the count. Negron in his first plate appearance today had a walk. He ultimately would come around to score last inning. Runner at first goes. Swingham in there safe as the ball goes into center. Swingham hustling around and getting to third base in there standing. It's the second stolen base plus error combination in the last 2 innings for the Lumberjacks, and a runner on third, no outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Second stolen base of the day for the Lumberjacks. We know head coach Christian Griffin likes the small ball. Trying to use those tactics here today. The 3-1 pitch on Negron, swung on and missed. That would have been ball 4 had he held up on that one, but instead the count runs full. Negron does strike out at an above average rate. He's got 18 in 16 games played, including 10 walks as well. Payoff pitch is swung on and missed. That one blown by him right there. The fastball got him, and he goes down swinging for out number 1. That brings up the rookie catcher Oliver Lawrence. Sixth strikeout of the day for the Lumberjacks, as the first pitch on Lawrence is the fastball up high, called for a ball. 1-0 the count. Lawrence had that RBI double in his first plate appearance. Ultimately would come around to score as well. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and fouled back behind the plate. That was just the 3rd hit of the year for Lawrence, first one for extra bases. But had one when the Boonville Lumberjacks needed it most. Ultimately was the catalyst for that 4-run top of the 3rd. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss on that one. Off speed got him down low in the dirt, and the count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Gotta get a run in here. Ground ball, fly out. However, you can't get back-to-back strikeouts.
Lawrence hadn't struck out going into this game. Let's use the next pitch. Taken up high, ball 2. Lawrence, where he has struggled slightly at the plate with just a .286 average, in a limited sample size, he has not chased a lot of strikes outside the zone. Here comes the 2-2 from Diaz. Swings and fouls that one just back behind the plate. Barely got a piece of that one, but the defensive swing keeps him alive.
Yeah, that's what matters here, just not striking out. I mean, however else you get out here, if that's what happens, just make sure it's somewhat productive and allows Zeb Swingham the ability to score from third.
Here comes the 2-2 from the lefty Diaz. Swing and a miss on that one. Fastball blown right down the middle. And that is out number 2. Lineup flips over, however. It's Wyatt Lassiter, the leadoff man, in there now.
No. Earlier in the season, the Lumberjacks came here and had a 2-run lead for quite a bit of the game before giving up a 3-run homer in the 7th. We've seen enough of these games. You mentioned it, we're halfway through the season. We've seen enough of these games that you have to capitalize on any type of opportunity where you have a runner on second or third and no outs.
First pitch on Lassiter, swings and chops this one high to the left side. Venkat's got it over at third and throws him out in due time, so that will end the top of the 4th inning. Lumberjacks leave a man stranded at third. It's still 4-2 Lumberjacks heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll be right back on the Boonville Radio Network after this.
Really, I can't.
Jaden Santiago, the leadoff hitter for this Diamond Dogs team in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still Garrett Albright out there battling through for his 4th inning of work. Here's the first pitch on the backstop. Swings and fouls that one back. It snowballs 1 strike the count. Santiago singled in his first plate appearance, ultimately would be stranded at second to end that bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1. Taken for a strike. The fastball just clips the upper outside part of the zone and quickly down 0-2.
Wonder how much of a difference it makes when you're pitching with a 3-run lead as opposed to a 2-run lead. Maybe it's a mental thing, but I feel like 3 is like comfortable lead. 2 is one that can be grabbed at any moment.
0-2 is swung on and hit up the middle. This one is going to get through for a hit. Hit softly enough that there could have been a play there, but ultimately no one grabs that one. It's the center fielder Bronx Lewis coming in and getting it, and a single right there for the leadoff man Santiago.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting. Didn't hit it incredibly hard, but hit it where no one is, and that's what matters. Slow roller up the middle. No one able to get there. Does a job as the lineup flips over, and now you have the leadoff man on.
Second hit of the day for Santiago, both of them singles as Eric Diaz stands in. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and hit high behind the plate. That one gets out of play for strike 1. Albright with 4 strikeouts already on the day. He came into today with 14 in 6 appearances, striking hitters out at an above average rate. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and fouled back. That one escapes off of the mask of the catcher, Oliver Lawrence, and the count quickly 0-2 now. Diaz so far today struck out looking in the third inning and flew out to right in the top of the first to lead, or the bottom of the first to lead off the game. Here comes the 0-2 from Albright. Swing and a miss. He got him right there. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and out number 1 of the inning for Garrett Albright. That brings up the right fielder, Jake Hardy.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well against Diaz. It's that fastball that Diaz is struggling to catch up to. He's been late both times he's seen it. But here's Hardy, who's gotten on twice. His last time he got a first pitch fastball. I wonder if Albright remembers that and mixes things up with an off-speed. Hardy, best hitter on the Diamond Dogs team. With a runner on, Albright has to be careful right here.
Here comes the pitch. Swung on and fouled back behind the plate and off speed this time, and Albright mixing it up. He's ahead 0-1 here on Hardy, the Fairfield hitter. So far today has reached base both times, walked in the first and doubled in the third inning. Here's the 0-1. That one down low. It gets away from Lawrence as Santiago breaks for second. There will be no throw to the infield as Lawrence picks this one up. Count moves to 1-1 and Santiago moves to second. First wild pitch of the day for Albright, who hasn't had to face too many runners on the base paths. He's got one in scoring position here with a 1-1 count against Hardy. One out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit high into right field. Going to his left, going to his right, and making the catch is Lassiter. Santiago runs for third, and he's going to be in there standing. There is no throw. So Hardy ultimately moves the runner, but is out number 2 in this inning. That brings up the shortstop, Ryan Payne.
And even though there's 2 outs here and Albright can get out of this on the next pitch, you know, it's kind of like the small things. That was a pass ball by Oliver Lawrence that allowed Santiago to get to second. That ball was a can of corn to right field where Wyatt Lassiter is. There was no chance Santiago would be able to advance to second in that situation. But because of a pass ball, just a little mishap on the Lumberjacks defensive side, now he's on third, and another pass ball would allow him to come in to score.
Here's the first offering on Payne. That one down low. The off-speed misses for ball 1. Payne's been a strikeout victim both times up today, both of them swinging as well. Another Fairfield University hitter. Albright gets the signal, kicks and fires. That one, a fastball in there, hits the bottom part of the zone for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Payne, this is his debut for the Diamond Dogs this season. Just finished up his freshman year at Fairfield and now looking for some collegiate at-bats.
Albright looking to welcome him with a sombrero.
1-1 is down low in the dirt, bounces off of the dirt, and then off of Lawrence's mask. Count moves to 2-1. Payne struck out 36 times in the Fairfield season. Ultimately only played 22 games. The strikeout was his Achilles heel. So here comes the 2-1. Down low in the dirt, fastball misses, and the count moves to 3-1.
And Oliver Lawrence is kind of lobbing it back to the pitcher, Albright, and I think that's something that Santiago, the third baseman, is taking note of. He never gets fully back to the third base bag in between pitches. He lingers around in case of a mishap on the throw back to the pitcher.
Here comes the 3-1. That one down low and a 5-pitch walk right there for Payne. He's on for the first time this summer as there's runners on the corners. 2 outs for the left fielder, Kyle Coleman.
So Payne reaches for the first time of the PGCBL season. But now Kyle Coleman, obviously it's still really early in the game. We're only in the bottom of the 4th. But Kyle Coleman would be the go-ahead run here.
Coleman stands in from the right side. The left fielder awaits the first offering from Albright. Here it comes. Swings and hits this one high into left field. Going back on it is Reed. He looks up and that one is gone. Into the lights and a 3-run homer right there for Kyle Coleman. He opens up this game and that one a huge homer to the deepest part of left field right there and ties this game up at 4.
Yeah, well, that's kind of exactly what I was saying. It is still early in the game. You know, they have time to recover, but for a few reasons. One, you wanted to score in the top of the 4th, That way you played at least one more, and that wouldn't be the go-ahead homer. But two, when you have a guy that you've struck out twice already, there's no reason to kind of work around him. Just give him fastballs and hope he hits it, or hope he doesn't hit it and strikes out. But I don't know. I would say in the at-bat against Payne, I don't know. Don't walk him on 5 pitches.
Next hitter is Jake Dolan. Here's the first offering as he takes that off-speed in there for a called strike. 5-4 the score here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 3-run homer off the bat of Kyle Coleman right there takes the lead for Mohawk Valley. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and hit hard, and that one up the middle for a single. 2 hits in a row for the Diamond Dogs extend this inning with 2 outs, and that brings up the next hitter, the third baseman, Hirsch Ramayanam Venkat. Solid piece of hitting right there, just to poke that one through the middle, and Albright still out there. We thought this inning would be over quite a while ago, but still fighting.
Yeah, 2-out rally from the Diamond Dogs. I see Mason Michael has entered the bullpen for the Lumberjacks just in case he's needed. Kind of a fireman role.
Runner goes from first. That throw is in the dirt, and in there safely with a stolen base is Jake Dolan. Just the second stolen base on the day for Mohawk Valley. Got another runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and hit high behind the plate. This one gets out of play for strike 1. Venkat so far today flew out to center and was hit by a pitch. Still looking for that first hit of the day. 1-1 on the one. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit high, back and out of play yet again, so that's going to be strike 2 on Venkat. 1-2 the count. Venkat out of Brown University, another Ivy League slugger in this lineup. Just like Jaden Santiago, the catcher out of Columbia. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and hit into right field. This one is on the foul line, and it is foul. Venkat just misses extra bases right there, and they'll do the 1-2 over.
Yeah, he kind of just stuck his bat out, but would have had extra bases for sure. Fortunately for the Lumberjacks, that one just a little bit foul. And Albright gets to do it again, this time with 2 strikes.
Venkat looking for his 3rd RBI in 3 games against the Lumberjacks. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. He got him right there with the off speed, and that will end the inning, but not before Mohawk Valley plate 3 with a 3-run homer off of the bat of Kyle Coleman. They lead it by 1. It's 5-4 Diamond Dogs here heading to the top of the 5th inning. We'll be right back on the Boonville Lumberjacks radio network after this. It's Devon Abaga, who had a triple his last time up, standing out there now for the Lumberjacks. It's 5-4 the score here in the top of the 5th inning, nearly halfway over in this one.
Yeah, Abaga's last at-bat, bases loaded, 2-0 count. Everyone in the stadium knew something was about to happen, and well, he absolutely delivered with that 3 RBI triple, and well, for short-lived, gave the Lumberjacks the lead, but now it's his chance to run it back.
First pitch from the sidearm slot right there is outside for a called ball.
Yeah, Daddy-O's got that weird sidearm that gives the Lumberjacks fits. Seems like he pitches every time they play.
Next pitch from Daddy-O is checked on right there, and they'll say that one in there for a strike. So far this season, Daddy-O's pitched in 10 games. He's got a 5.0 ERA in 9 innings pitched, just 8 runs, 5 of them earned. Here's the 1-1. That one outside on Abaga, 2-1 the count. And one thing we do know about the Lumberjacks is they try and mix up the arm slots in practice, but they have had trouble hitting the sidearm pitchers so far this year.
Yeah, Daddy-O being example 1A. The Lumberjacks, they've been struggling in general recently, but now would be the opportunity to try and jump on any arm that they see after just losing the lead.
Abaga fouled that last delivery off. The count moves to 2-2 on him now.
Forget his name, but the one dude on Utica is also sidearm. He kind of gives them fits as well.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on and hit up the middle. This one's going to find a glove, though. Payne throws it over to first in time for out number 1 in the inning, and a tough play right there on Abaga.
Yeah, Ryan Payne hasn't been having his best day at the plate, 2 Ks and a walk. But right there, I thought that was going to at least get Abaga to first base. I didn't think it would get through, but I figured there wouldn't be a throw. But Payne able to, in one fluid motion, field the ball and fire it over to first to get the speedy Abaga. That's one down quickly.
So that brings up Argenis Lopez, the first baseman. He's got a single and a ground out so far today. One of the more experienced players, as here's the first pitch. Swung on and hit high into left field. Coleman is underneath it and squeezes it for out number 2. So one pitch, one out right there on Lopez, and that brings up the extra hitter, Michael Clarkson.
Lopez skies that one to left field. Hit off the end of the bat, never really had a chance. But again, I like the Lumberjacks are at least going down kind of productive.
Michael Clarkson stands in there now. Didn't face Dean Daddy-O in the opening day matchup. Was able to pitch around strike. Abaga did face him in the first matchup, had a double off of Daddy-O, as that was one of the only successful innings the Lumberjacks had. Daddy-O takes time now. Clarkson so far in this one has been a strikeout victim twice, both of them swinging, as it looks like there's movement in the Lumberjacks bullpen as well. Here's the next offering. Swung on and missed in the dirt. The off-speed got him right there, and Clarkson in danger of going down 3 times by strikeout.
Yeah, in theory, Clarkson typically struggles against fastballs. Daddy-O works more with his arm slot than his velocity, so someone that Clarkson should be able to hit off.
Here's the 0-2. Swung on and hit high into left field. Coleman ranging back on it. It's the center fielder Dolan underneath it, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Clarkson gives that one a ride, but doesn't go anywhere with it. And the Lumberjacks go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th inning. It's still 5-4 Diamond Dogs here on the Lumberjacks Radio Network. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th right after this. It's a new arm out on the mound for the Lumberjacks. Spencer Biggerstaff out there to work on the Diamond Dogs here for this bottom of the 5th inning. That means Garrett Albright's day is done. 4 innings pitched for him with 4 hits allowed, 3 walks allowed, 5 Ks, but ultimately 5 runs given up as only 4 of them earned. But Biggerstaff out there now to try and keep this one close. On the year, he's got a 5.93 ERA in 7 games pitched. Just over 13 innings worked for him on the year. 14 hits, 14 walks, and 12 Ks for the lefty out of Oklahoma City University, the NAIA school. Last appearance for him was against Socrates. Ultimately would give up 4 earned runs in 2 innings pitched. All 4 came in that bottom of the 5th inning. That was a doubleheader that the Lumberjacks would go on to lose by 1. Looking to get back into the strong starts column for him. Previous appearance was against Mohawk Valley at 2 innings pitched with no runs earned, just 1 hit allowed, and no walks in the second game of the doubleheader at Dr. Robert Smith Sports Complex. First batter he faces here in this one is Roberto Valdez. Here's the first offering. That one down low in the dirt. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, Mason Michael still warm just in case the Lumberjacks decide to go that route. But Albright's day is done.
Next offering is chopped to the left side. That one gets picked up by Swingham and thrown over to first in time. Just a little check swing right there, and that will be out number 1. Next batter up is Jack Henning.
Albright still with a productive day, but man, you gotta think. You know, I'm not gonna dive into hypotheticals and ifs, but man, 2 outs there, just get 1 more, and he might still be on the mound. Instead, it's Biggerstaff, and Lumberjacks have 16 straight days, 14 left of baseball to be played consecutively and need as many healthy arms as possible. So when guys go deep into games, that really helps them out.
Yep. Well, it's Biggerstaff here. We heard pregame that it would be Colin Glenn afterwards, as here's the 1-0. One in there for a called strike.
Yeah, always good to make sure that Colin Glenn, Mason Michael, ready in the bullpen just in case. Shut down arms. Lumberjacks could really use a performance like that right now.
This one is grounded to the right side. Abaga can't get it, though, as it hops up on the dirt right there, and that one gets through. We'll see what they'll score it, but either way, Henning is over there on first. Score that one a single. So first hit allowed there by Biggerstaff brings up the catcher, Jaden Santiago. That's Henning's second hit of the day. He had a single his first time up in the bottom of the 2nd inning. As here comes the first pitch on Santiago. Fastball taken up high for ball 1. Santiago's doubled twice here today. Neither of them for an RBI, but has came around and scored once. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball taken right down the middle, and that one a called strike. 1-1 the count. Santiago's got a 152 average in 15 games played with the Diamond Dogs so far this summer. 7 hits, just 1 of them for extra bases, a double. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball taken outside as Oliver Lawrence stands up and checks back on the runner at first, but no throw. Count moves to 2-1. Santiago stands in on the right side and awaits the next pitch. Check back on the runner is not in time. Jack Henning in there standing. Count remains 2-1 on Santiago. Here's the next pitch. Taken up high. That one just tops the zone, and the count moves to 3-1.
The Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs went back-to-back lefties to start the game, which was helpful to keep runners on first. Here, that the Lumberjacks have Biggerstaff, the lefty, on, it'll help them just a bit.
That one up high on Santiago. The fastball misses, and Biggerstaff walks one here, so runners on first and second now, and the lineup flips over. It's the designated hitter, Eric Diaz, up now.
Well, yeah, but walks don't help very much at all, so that kind of makes my last point irrelevant. But Right now, Biggerstaff, he's got to play the fireman role and make sure that no one else comes in to score.
Jake.
Lumberjacks have been struggling to hit as it is, even though they played it 4 earlier. That could have been fluky with how these things are kind of going.
Here's the first pitch on Diaz. Squares bunt, but pulls back. That one in the dirt, and Lawrence picks it up. Checks on the runners before giving it back to Biggerstaff. Third time on so far for Santiago today. He's walked once and singled twice now. Eric Diaz, the current hitter, hasn't been on yet. He's 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a flyout represent his contributions today. Here's the next pitch. Squares bunt, has to get out of the way of that one. They'll say he pulled back on that one, but not really sure if he fully did. Regardless, it's 2 balls, no strikes. Diaz hasn't played in any of the last 7 games for the Diamond Dogs. Has Biggerstaff readies for the next pitch. Here it comes. Swings and hits this one on the right side. Ibaga picks it up. Over to second for 1. Throw to first is not going to happen. Negron spins around as he saw Diaz was already well down the line, so they get Santiago at second. But ultimately, Diaz in there at first safely. That brings up the right fielder, Jake Hardy.
Yeah, that one looked like it was stuck in Ibaga's glove for a little bit, which made the flip, or the double play, impossible. Was still able to get the lead runner at second base. But now Biggerstaff still has 1 left, and in Jake Hardy, that's the most difficult out to get. He flew out his last time. If Biggerstaff can make him do that again, that'd be great. But again, 2 runners on right here. Not a great situation for the Lumberjacks.
First pitch on Hardy is in there for a called strike. On that play, Henning also moving to third, so runners on the corners with 2 outs here. Biggerstaff has to navigate his way out of this one. Here comes the 1-0. Swung on and hit to the right side. That one foul and out of play. 1-1 the count. Hardy so far today has walked, doubled, and flew out to right field. He's got 1 RBI, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 run scored. As here's the 1-1. Taken down low in the dirt. 2-1 the count now. Hardy leads the team in hits with 36. That's where he excels. Also leads the team in strikeouts. Hasn't had one yet today, but would love it right here for the Lumberjacks. Next pitch is an off-speed up high, and the count moves to 3-1. Lawrence bounces this one off the mound as Henning thought about breaking for home, but ultimately pulls up on it. Three and 1 the count. Here's the pitch. That one in the dirt. It gets away from Lawrence, but it does not matter. Hardy is in there with a walk, second allowed of the inning by Biggerstaff, and there's going to be a meeting at the mound here with the bases loaded. 2 outs for the shortstop, Ryan Payne.
Yeah, I got to make sure that no more runs score if possible. Score currently at 5-4, but can quickly go south. And the way the Lumberjacks have been hitting, it's been 1 good inning. Really, it was the Ibaga 3-run triple that have propelled them to even be in this game currently. Just hope that you can limit the Diamond Dogs' runs and give yourself a chance offensively.
So here comes Payne, who struck out twice. As here's the first pitch, swung on and hit into center field. Coming in on that one and not making the catch there is Lassiter. 1 run scores, 2 runs score as Diaz goes home. Throw over to third is not in time, as sliding in there safely is Jake Hardy. It's a 2 RBI single right there for Ryan Payne, his first hit and first RBIs of the season, and it gives the Diamond Dogs a 7-4 lead.
Yeah, that one hurts the Lumberjacks. It was not the hardest hit ball, kind of a loop hit that pulls right in front of Lassiter. He's playing just 10 steps too far back. Was able to try and pretend like deke the runner that he had it, but ultimately fouled off his glove, which allowed Hardy to move to third. And Biggerstaff still has to work through this inning.
So here's Coleman, who had the 3-run homer in the last inning, ultimately opened up this game, and now the Diamond Dogs extending that lead to 3 runs. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Here comes pitch number 2. That one up high, fastball misses, and the count moves to 1-1. Outside of that home run, Coleman has walked and grounded out so far today. Biggerstaff awaits. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and hit high into center field. Ranging back on this one is Bronx Lewis. He looks at the wall, looks up, and it is out of here. 2 straight homers and 2 straight ABs for Kyle Coleman, and he continues opening this game up. It's another 3-run shot for him, and this one now a 6-run lead for Mohawk Valley. It's 10-4 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, well, when you looked at the stats coming into the day, Amsterdam was first in homers and Mohawk Valley was second. And Kyle Coleman, well, he's having quite a day at the plate, launched that one to center field. Lewis gives it a little bit of a run, but it's shallow back. It's shallow to center field, and while he barreled it for sure, there's nothing Lewis can do when you run out of wall as quick as you do. Another 2-out rally for Mohawk Valley, and this game has quickly become uncompetitive.
So Jake Dolan, the center fielder, the next man up in this one. First pitch misses outside by Biggerstaff, who's already given up 5 runs in this inning.
Yeah,
next one is up high as well, 2-0 the count.
That's now 8 unanswered for the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. Really unorthodox for Biggerstaff. He's usually pretty good in these times. I know his last performance against Socrates wasn't quite his best outing, but this one really got to be his worst of the year so far.
2-0 misses outside. Count moves to 2-1.
I wonder if you think about going the Mason, Michael, Colin, Glenn route.
Next pitch is in there for a called strike, 2-2. Dolan so far today reached on an error, singled, and flew out to center. Here's the next pitch. That one up high.
Yeah, I think he's in his head now. Dolan, another great hitter. Got to make sure you don't give him anything to hit. Or a mistake pitch, I should say.
Next pitch is taken outside. He was practically out of the batter's box before that one even landed. And another walk in this inning by Biggerstaff. That's already number 3. So the Seton Hall commit on for the 2nd time today. That brings up Hirsch Ramayan Venkot. First pitch on him is a fastball up high, misses for ball 1.
Yeah, Seton Hall really prevalent in the PGCBL. Didn't win a lot of games this year, but they recruit locally, I'd have to imagine.
1-0 misses up high. It's 2-0 now on the 3rd baseman Venkot. So far today, flew out, was hit by a pitch, and struck out. As here's the next one. Swing and a miss right there. Fastball blown by him by Biggerstaff. Count moves to 2-1. And it's been unfortunate here these last couple games for the Lumberjacks and what was once a team that had won 5 straight. As here's the 2-1. Down low in the dirt, 3-1.
Yeah, tomorrow, I mean, this game's not over, but down 6 and swinging the bats the way they have, it's hard to be hopeful. But tomorrow you look to reset it at Utica. They always have some success when they play at Donovan Field at Murnane Stadium.
Pitch number 5 misses outside, and that's walk number 4 for Biggerstaff in this inning. That's runners on 1st and 2nd now with 2 outs. Brings up the 2nd baseman, Roberto Valdez.
Lo Wen-Shing in the bullpen in case he's needed to be called upon. He went yesterday, but could go again today if Biggerstaff struggles a bit more.
So it's Valdez who struck out, walked, and grounded out so far today. Here's the first pitch. Takes that one for a called strike. And yeah, the team that had won 5 straight is now lost 3 in a row. This could be 4, even though this ball game is far from over. Here's the next pitch from Biggerstaff. Checks his swing on that one, a sword right there, and quickly goes down 0-2. Valdez calls time, goes over to talk things over with the head coach down there, also the third base coach, Steve Luby. Valdez so far this year batting just .200 on the season with 4 hits, just 2 walks as well. Has struggled to start in this one.
Yeah, I mean, this game's been going on for 2 hours now, and We're not even out of the 5th inning yet. It's a marathon.
Biggerstaff ready for the 0-2. Here it comes. That one down low in the dirt, and the count moves to 1-2. And yeah, 2 really appearances in a row that have not been very good for Biggerstaff. 4 earned runs in the last one, 5 already in this one. He's not out of the woods yet. Here's the 1-2, taken outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count now on Valdez. It's 10-4 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners still on first and second with 2 outs. Here's the next pitch. Swung on and hit on the ground up the middle. Abaga picks this one up and tags the second base, and that will end the inning, but not before Mohawk Valley put up 5 in this one. They extend their lead to 6 runs. It's 10-4. Mohawk Valley on top here on the Boonville Radio Network. We'll be right back after this. Dean Daddio back out there for the Diamond Dogs here in this top of the 6th inning. Leading off is Bronx Lewis for the Lumberjacks. Looking to get something going here, down 6 runs. Just need to get some runners on and take it from there. First pitch is down low in the dirt on Lewis.
Yeah, Lumberjacks led 4-2 at one point and what looked to at least continue to be a competitive matchup, but Garrett Albright got beat a little bit at the end of his outing, and Biggerstaff didn't do much better.
Next pitch is in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike the count now. Lewis so far in this one struck out and walked. Hasn't been the best day for the 22-year-old. Here's the 1-1. Outside for ball 2. Lewis has only seen Mohawk Valley in 2 games. He hasn't been able to get a hit with 1 strikeout and 1 walk in 3 at-bats. Here's the 2-1. Swings and hits this one way foul. Was early on that. Off speed, and instead the count moves to 2-2. Lewis doesn't strike out too much, just 5 in 19 at-bats so far this season. Here's the next offering. Takes that one down low in the dirt, and the count runs full. Some of the fans starting to pack up and leave here at Veterans Memorial Park, as that sun's still out, and this game 2 hours in, still at the top of the 6th. 3-2 is outside, and Lewis draws the walk. 6 pitches, but he finally gets on right there. Second walk of the day for the senior, and that brings up Masai Marshall, the designated hitter.
Yeah, even if this game stays the same, I might do the same. It's Mexico-England in an hour. That's one that I have some interest in. You know, in recent games, I feel like soccer teams outscore the Lumberjacks.
So Marshall eats pitch number 1 from Dean Daddio right there. It's a hit by pitch, and runners on first and second now for the left fielder Noah Reed. And that's kind of exactly what the doctor ordered right there. Just
keep passing the stick.
Yeah, just 2 guys getting on to start this one.
Yeah, just keep giving your guys chances. I mean, obviously that last inning wasn't ideal on the Lumberjack side, giving up 5 in an inning, but if you can return with 3 right here, well, 7 to 10 is manageable. So, I mean, whatever you can do to just stay alive in these types of contests. More offense means that this game continues 2 hours long and almost halfway done. A little bit over halfway. Gotta think at least.
So meeting at the mound, Daddio trying. Nope. Next batter up is the left fielder Noah Reed. Here comes the pitch. Checks on that one, but it's down low in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Reed so far in this one singled and flew out. Here comes the 1-0. Swings and fouls this one to the backstop, but loses the bat in the process, and the count moves to 1-1.
Yeah, bat went flying